Hi everybody, it's Laurel Live and this is Heartline and it's Monday. So it's the beginning of the week, and last week I was seriously so horrified when I went to an appointment to play the piano, a professional appointment to play the piano that I get paid for. And I showed up a day early. Yeah. It was horrifying to me because I was thinking, I'm getting everything done, I'm on schedule, I'm on time, everything's rolling right, I look professional, I'm ready to play the piano, and I showed up 24 hours to the dot early, okay? So I talked with this activities director, and this was the first time she ever met me. So I was a little horrified that not only did I show up on the wrong day, at the wrong time, this is how I meet the new activities director. And it was just horrifying all the way around. So I apologized. I said, oh, that's my mistake. I'll be here tomorrow at the scheduled time to play the piano. I'm going to go wait in the lobby till my husband gets back. So I go wait in the lobby, and I had all these thoughts going through my head like really fast. Like, oh my gosh, my husband drove me here on his day off and took his time and energy to drive me here, and he's coming all the way back and probably rushing in the grocery store because he doesn't want me to wait for real long. All because I came on the wrong day. I mean, I did put my makeup on, I got dressed, everything. That's fine, I used up my energy, but I didn't want to use up my husband's energy or be unprofessional and all this stuff. So it was just going through my head. And I was sitting there and I felt the tears, welling up. I was like, oh God, please help me not to cry, when you're out in public. And you, once again, don't want to be unprofessional or something. In this kind of setting, it's like you don't want to be having a breakdown because you had a schedule mix up, okay? So I guess I was kind of tired that day, and I was already pushing my body a little bit anyways, so it didn't help the whole situation. But God just stopped my kind of crazy thoughts and stuff, and he was just like, Laurel, you see all these people in this whole place? He was like, they make mistakes all the time. So it happened. You owned it. You're going to come and play the piano tomorrow. It's okay. Basically, God was like calming me down because my brain was going, I was literally getting ready to start carrying guilt and all this stuff that the enemy was throwing at me and my own mind, because sometimes it's the enemy and sometimes it's our own brains, just our own crazy thoughts. But God just stopped me. He was just, talk about a real friend, right? God was just like, you're getting ready to pick up something I don't want you to carry. I don't want you to carry that. And I just humbled myself. I said, God, you're right. I don't need to carry this. I don't even know how my husband's going to react. I'm already, feeling bad, and I don't even know if he's going to even care. So I literally just gave it all to God. And I decided in that moment not to pick up and carry the guilt, the weight of what if and what if and what if and what if this, and why did I do this, and why didn't I check this, and I should have double checked my schedule, and I don't usually do this, and this is the first time it's ever, all the stuff that was flying through my brain, God helped me, and he just stopped it. And I wanted to share this because seriously, there is a scripture that talks about how we need to take captive our every thought, but our thoughts can just go at the speed of light, flying, or maybe faster than the speed of light, flying through our heads. And before we know it, we've picked up, guilt that we don't need to carry. We picked up, we're being manipulated in a situation, or we're worried or freaked out about something or scared, and we don't even know, for no reason. We don't even know how things are going to turn out. And that's what was happening with me. It didn't help that my brain was I was kind of tired that day and stuff. You know, it's easier to get like emotional, and believe me, the enemy just comes in and he plays on when you're sort of tired and you're trying to do your best and you're giving it your all and you screw up. Okay, that's, if you're have any perfectionistic, or you're like an A-class personality who tries to be on top of things and organized and focused, and you make a mistake like this, sometimes when you don't work and do things all the time, it's even more horrifying. And that's what happened to me. It was horrifying for me. So you guys might be laughing, or you might be like, she's nuts. Like, really? But I just wanted to share that because God is here to help us, and he wants to take us to take our thoughts captive, but he wants to guide us with his word, and in the moment, like what to do with those thoughts. If it's not from God, we just need to toss it. And that's what I did that day. I just said, okay, I am not going here. I am not going to pick it up. God, you said not to pick it up. I'm just going to let things lie. And I pray that you would give me favor here, that you give me favor with this activities director, and that I would get more bookings, and that I would just do wonderful tomorrow, and it would just be awesome. And you know what happened? It turned out great the next day. I was even more tired the next day, actually, but God gives us strength for the things that we need to do. And God made it turn out awesome. And it wasn't because I was perfect. It wasn't because I practiced for 3 hours a day. God just gave me the grace and strength to do it. And it really made a difference there. And I was really encouraged by the whole thing. And then 2 days later, guess what happened? I get an email from the activities director, and she booked me next month, and she booked me in December, and every month after that. So I have endless bookings, and this is just something I do to help my family on the side, because I'm not at where I want to be yet as a speaker, and I'm working towards that as a vlogger, and learning how to bring what God shares with me to you guys. But I just wanted to share that, because look what God did. God helped me not to carry the weight, not to pick it up, because I had already sort of picked it up and was running with it, actually, to be honest. But God didn't want me to really carry it all the way. He wanted me to throw it back to the enemy, because it wasn't from him. And so when I did that, when I obeyed and I just stepped into that moment, it was so amazing. I ended up looking at my sheet music the rest of that hour that I was sitting in the lobby waiting, and I read some other stuff I had in my music notebook, and the sheet music is Christmas music. I mean, that's fun, right? So I practiced my sight reading, and I, hummed, not loudly. I didn't want to, cause a scene in the lobby, but I was humming and sight reading some sheet music, and I needed to practice that anyways. So it ended up just working out. And when my husband picked me up, all my fears about, oh my gosh, my husband was driving me around on his day off, and what am I going to do? He's going to be upset. He picked me up and he said, as soon as you stepped out of the car and you were like heading in, he's like, I just had this gut feeling that I needed to go in with you and make sure that everything was set before I left. He's like, but I didn't listen to my gut, instinct, and I just drove away and left, because you look like you were just ready to go. He's like, I just didn't follow my gut instinct. And I was like, yeah, I started feeling bad because I knew you drove me here and we came on the wrong day and it's all my fault and I should have double checked. I even looked at it on the calendar. I mean, do you know? Like, I actually saw this on the calendar, but I didn't see the Wednesday on October 21st. I just, for some reason, had Tuesday logged in, and he said, nope. Don't feel bad about it. It's okay. I need to go to the grocery store anyway. Everything's done. And God took over and gave me favor with my husband, so he wouldn't be upset or exhausted or frustrated. And God gave me favor in every angle of the situation. And I wonder how many moments of my life, and maybe of your life, that have been stolen because we run away with our own crazy thoughts or what the enemy is throwing in there, and we pick it up and we run with it and we just carry it. Think about if we did that like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times a week. It would become a really heavy weight. Before we know it, we have all this turmoil going on inside of us, and all of this angst and all this fear and anxiety, and all things God doesn't want us to carry. So I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to encourage you, don't pick up those things that aren't from God, the thoughts that aren't from God, and the things that are going to weigh you down. And whatever weighs you down is going to weigh your family down, your friends down, everybody. It's going to pull it literally is going to affect everybody around you, wherever your heart and spirit and mind are at. So I just want to encourage you. I know this is, I don't have the scripture reference to go with this. It will be on my website with the blog. That's a long story too. That's not even worth going into that story. But I just wanted to say all that because I think these are things that happen in our everyday life. Your insecurities and areas where you struggle may be different than mine, but we all have them. We have these internal battles going on, and if something I say and how I was sharing what I was going through can help you in any way, not to pick up that weight and carry it, and not to run off with your crazy thoughts, then it was worth coming on here and telling you about it. And I just hope that encourages you, and I just pray that God blesses you. So this is Laurel Live for Heartline today on Monday, and this week we're really talking about exactly what I was just talking about, basically our thoughts, our mind, and our words, like our speech and speaking. So those are some of the topics we're talking about this week, and I hope that this encouraged you and gave you hope that no matter how professional you want to be, no matter how, if you're a perfectionist, that's one of my weaknesses, is that it's a strength, but it's also a weakness. You're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. Just own it and roll on. Own it and move on. So that's what I'm doing. And I love you guys, and the things that we screw up in life, God can turn it around for our good. Romans 8:28. God will turn things around for your good. So just trust Him. Trust Him that He can carry all the good things, all the bad things, and He can handle it. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you more later.